Hold on. What's happening? We are back in the zone, getting it done. Back into the women's NCAA championship, Regional 2. Getting the second round, but I think Iowa's going to take this. West Virginia, this was a low first half for both teams. And all of a sudden, Iowa they flicked the switch in the third quarter, so now they up by 9 points. So let's see if West Virginia played them tight the first half, and let's see if they can keep it up. Because all these teams start out hot, but they can't keep that momentum up. Caitlin Clark had 19 points already. But Stokey's got 9 points. So Stokey, last game, Hannah Stokey didn't have any points. She didn't even score. So yeah, it's going good. It's too early to tell right now. Maybe it's 12-5 in the third quarter. Iowa's outscoring West Virginia. So West Virginia, you have to come up with something. Don't go out like this. So yeah, everybody was looking bad in the first, man. All them teams, Iowa, Duke, LSU, all of them looked bad in the first half. And then second half, they came out and flipped that switch. I thought Duke was going to lose that game. Who did Duke play? Duke played Ohio State. And Ohio State was giving them the business in the first half. And then Duke came out. Iowa State, I believe, had a 12-point lead or something at halftime. Iowa State was in control of the game. And then Duke just came out second half and just put the clamp down on them. And, same thing with Iowa State at Stanford. Iowa State came out hot, and then all of a sudden they couldn't buy a bucket. They couldn't hit a shot. It was crazy. They just went cold. Notre Dame I'm predicting Notre Dame's going to beat Oregon State. So yeah, it's going to be a good third round. Good Sweet 16. So I got to update my brackets tonight, so that'll be fun. But yeah, man, a lot of stuff going on. So let me see. I'm getting this stupid video that keeps looping. It's Russell Wilson. It says quarterback Russell Wilson is putting in work for next season in style, and it's got him lifting with these, I guess, designer glasses on. And I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? I hope you're getting paid for that. So I just wish Russ would do his thing, and not try to put on the extra, because people already think some kind of way about him, fair or unfair, and it's just like, dude, just yeah. So, anyways, let me see how many people we got in the Twitter space right now. 8, not bad. It'll pick up a little bit later on. So it looks like Quez Watkins went to the Steelers. So I guess we just swapping all the players now, I guess. You know, I've seen a couple people in the Twitter space that were like, you know, asking about, you know, what the situation is with Quez. And it's like, Quez, here's the bottom line on Quez, in my opinion. Quez has all the speed, has the size that you want. My only issue with Quez was in the big moments when he got his opportunities, because he's a number 3. So he's not going to get many opportunities like that. But when those opportunities came, he didn't come up with it. Obviously, everybody looks at the catch he dropped in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts threw a dime. He should have caught it, and he'll probably tell you that. But hey, man, big time players make big time plays in big time games. And when he had his opportunities, it just didn't happen. He couldn't make the catch. So, and there were situations where he did, but those get overshadowed by the moments when he didn't. Because a lot of times when he didn't make the catch, those were important times. So everybody drops balls. You don't go to practice every day trying to drop balls. He still got over the top speed. I think he's still a good receiver. And don't be surprised if he goes to Pittsburgh and just lights it up. Because sometimes just a change in environment, new people, new coach, new quarterback, different things like that. And quiet as kept, he's not going to say nothing, but he got a chip on his shoulder. Absolutely, he's got a chip on his shoulder. So, you know, he's going to go in trying to prove something. Jason, I'm with you 100%, man. You can't call yourself elite and drop passes like that. You know, I'm not going to about him thinking too much of himself. When you at that level, that's what you're supposed to do, regardless of what happened. It's just like, it's just like Seth Curry in the league. You know what I mean? He's had some games where he hasn't been on. You know what he does? He keeps shooting. So I'm not mad at that. But tape don't lie. What's going on, 88? Tape does not lie. And he had too many big opportunities where he could have came up the hero, especially in the Super Bowl. He could have came up the hero, and he just didn't do it. So I don't mind talking himself up, but at the end of the day, when he gets on the field, are you scared of him? It's almost like the dude, what was the dude last year with Kansas City that kept dropping balls? And let's be honest, Kansas City would have beat us. We would have lost that game in KC if not for old boy dropping them balls. So he was having his struggles, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. You don't, like I said, you don't go in trying to drop balls or fumble balls, but yeah, thank you, Chris. So when you have it like that, man, that's it is what it is. Film don't lie. So dang it, I forgot to call. Oh, West Virginia coming back 38-40. I got my little, I don't know if y'all want to get into this. Got the little live stream going. Nah, my camera ain't working right. But yeah, man, I Quez gonna do what he does. there'll be a situation that comes up, and he will be our criticisms will be proven. Let me say it like that. So, oh, by the way, if y'all like the shirt, Kicks Closet, hit up Chris Hernandez in the chat. Dope shirt. I got a black one too and a hoodie. You better recognize. So, but yeah, man, it's yeah, yeah, Chris. Good luck to him. But listen, all it takes is one play, and everybody forgets all of that stuff. All it takes is one play. So he's got the opportunity to do it, and there's something to be said for playing for Mike Tomlin. There's a reason he's been there forever. There's a reason he's never had a losing season. Now he's going through a playoff drought, but he does have a ring. Everything that comes with that. So you want that type of experience, and you want that type of head coach to play for. So, but to your point, Jason, I do think he got into his own head a little bit too much. So you're not entirely wrong by your assessment, but I did think he got inside of his own head a little bit too much. And when you get out on that field and you thinking too much, you tend to overthink. Do the same thing you've been doing since Little League, since high school, since college, and to that point. Because to that point, he was a pretty good receiver. But again, too many big times. To me, let me be honest with you, it wasn't a Super Bowl. I mean, that hurt. Don't get it twisted. That hurt. But I always think about the game in Washington, where he, once again, Jalen puts it on the money, and he will score. Without a shadow of a doubt, he was going to score, and he fumbled the ball. The guy stripped him. And it's like, oh. So it's just in the big moments, he came up short, and, you know, we decided to go in a different direction. That's pretty much it. So good luck to him. I am quite positive that we will have much to say when we watch Pittsburgh and see what he does one way or the other. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, but Jason is asking me, how do they coach defensive tackle now? Defenders, yeah, might as well jump on this hip drop thing. So I saw what Seth said, and a couple other people. I know. I think I got the impression from looking at his tweets that Ike was okay with it. Ike Reese, I'm okay with it because I know what it does. And like I said this afternoon, I do not remember getting tackled like that when I played. Not when I was in college, not when I was with the Eagles, and not in the World League. I do not remember getting tackled like that. Definitely not when I was in the CFL in Canada. So this is something that has come, you know, the last 10, 15 years or so that you really started seeing this. And it really isn't the hip tackle. Really, it's when the momentum is going forward. So somebody, usually when they hip tackle you, they are catching you from the side and letting your forward momentum sling them behind you. And what they do is they trip you up with their feet. If you can follow what I'm saying. You guys have seen the tackles before, so you know what I'm talking about. So that's what they do. The problem is when your legs get locked, you immediately fall on your ankles or your knees. And on top of that, you got the defender putting all of their weight on your ankles or knees. That is the problem. That's why they had to ban it. Because there was too many people getting hurt, and there was too many people getting twisted ankles, high ankle sprains. Especially twisted ankle, you can come back from rather quickly. A high ankle sprain is a problem. With armor on, a little bit of this. Uh-oh. Where did that come from? Man, these damn ESPN ads, I tell you what, get on your nerves. But yeah, man, when you get them high ankle sprains, that's a horse of a different color, man. Because high ankle sprains can take weeks to heal up. You twist the ankle, you get some muscle stem, you can be back in a week, maybe two. Ice it muscle stem. That's all you need. Ice bath, get in the ice. We used to get the ice whirlpool, sit in it, and they would have the current going, and they would just keep that water, and one of the trainers would come in like every 10 minutes, dump another tub of ice. We had uh, one of the hotel ice machines in the training room, and they would make the bags of ice. So they would have stacks of ice, and you would just reach in, get a bag of ice, crack it open, and then just pour it in the tub as you had treatment. So sometimes it would be like, 3, 4, 5 people with 1 foot in the pool, and they would just have it, put the ice in it, and they would just continue to run. And it would be like some people, you would stay in there as long as you could. Other people would do like a 10 and 10. They would do 10 minutes in, 10 minutes out, and do like heat or some type of muscle stim, and just switch back and forth and switch up on the treatment. So ankle sprains, you could do that. High ankle sprains is up more above the ankle, kind of getting to the lower calf area, but on the side where your ankle is, and it hurts. It hurts because literally it feels like your leg wants to do this, wants to kind of crack. And that area right there feels weak. And every time you try to plant and push off, that's where you feel that pain. And it is a pain in the ass. And it takes a long time to heal. And it's one of those things where you feel good going forward, but the minute you try to push off to go side to side, any type of lateral movement, and oh man, it can break you down. It can break you down. So I understand the whole hip tackle rule. I understand the animosity for it already. They already got too many rules against the defense. That's a fact. They already got way too many rules. And and the sentiment now is like eventually we're going to be two-hand touch. So they already got it in the Olympics. So it's only a matter of time. Two-hand touch, full-time halo helmets, all that kind of stuff. So so technically, Jason, to answer your question, man, is honestly, this is a prime situation where I would tell people, go back and look at the old school tapes. Go back and look at everything they was doing in the 80s, in the 90s, and in the early 2000s. It wasn't until like the 20 teens that you saw this hip tackle, hip drop type of stuff. I remember if you look at people that get tackled from the side, right? Because I remember I've gotten yanked back before a couple times. But usually if they yank you back, they grab you by the shoulder pads, or they will horse collar you. Now, the horse collar is obvious because my quarterback in college broke his ankle on the horse collar after he had scored the touchdown. He was already in the end zone, and somebody had just, basically grabbed a hold of his collar right as he was crossing the goal line and yanked back, and he ended up breaking his ankle and out for the season. Matter of fact, they took that guy out of the game because they knew we was gunning for him. So the coach was smart enough to take him out of the game because it was an unnecessary play. And we ended up losing that quarterback that year probably cost us a national championship. So I understand the horse collar. But I think, in my opinion, the hip drop is worse because all of that weight, when you see the way they do it now, all of that weight comes right down on the ankles or the knee. Because I've seen some people when they get one knee out or they're mid-step and then their knee collapses and it goes that funky way and it goes that odd direction on the inside, like almost like, how you look when you go knock-kneed and then you put weight on it. That's crazy. So if you've ever been into the weight room and you've done split squats, well, basically you have 1 foot forward, like you're taking a big giant step, and 1 foot back, and you just go up and down. Just imagine you're trying to do that exercise and someone comes and does a RTO on you, like the wrestling move on you, and just drop all of that weight on your ankle. Your ankle's going to just go one way or the other, and it ain't going to be pretty. So I don't blame it. The problem is going to be, how are they going to enforce it? And are they going to go overboard? Because I heard something today, and I was like, you know what? That makes sense. What they're going to do is they're going to call it a lot in preseason. And they're going to call it a lot the first 3-4 season, the first 3-4 games of the season, just to let people know, like, no, you can't do that. And then people are going to get used to it, and it's going to even itself out. Just as the comparison, I see baseball doing that now. Baseball passed a rule where if you are in the field, and let's say it's you trying to steal second base, and when the throw comes from the catcher, the second baseman or the shortstop cannot block the base. He can't block your attempt to touch the base. So I saw that the other day on ESPN, where it was a perfect throw by the catcher. The dude was out by a mile, but because the shortstop blocked the base, the umpire called him safe. And they're doing the same thing, and they explained it on the broadcast, and you just got to get into that rhythm and get your muscle memory right to kind of redo how you're going to tackle people from the side. And like I was saying, when I used to get tackled from the side, people would either hit me up high or attack my hips. Because if you attack my hips, I'm going to buckle, and I'm going whichever way you coming. I'm going that way. So I'm either out of bounds or going down. And the last thing you want as a running back or at any position is to get a hip pointer, because those hurt too. And some people would put their helmet right in the side of your hip. And, oh my God, that would hurt. So it's going to be all about how they choose to enforce that. But I don't necessarily hate the rule. I just want to see how they're going to interpret it. How often are they going to call it? Honestly, I think the defensive tackles and defensive ends are strong enough. And I'm saying this specifically in regards to quarterbacks. Defensive ends and defensive tackles are strong enough now to where most quarterbacks, you can push them down and they're going to go down hard. They're going to go down hard, period. So I'm very interested to see what they do with it. Matter of fact, I'm wondering, I didn't even bother to look at this, but I'm just thinking about it now. But I'm wondering if this rule is going to be in the in the UFL, because the NFL has been kind of play testing a lot of the rules that we want to try in the UFL. I think The Rock probably kind of organized that. So now, if you watch the XFL or the UFL last year, their explanation of the referee calls were phenomenal. And it really put the NFL to shame. Dean Blandino was a part of the broadcast. Every play that they called, they would show there was a camera in the referee's booth. It was Dean Blandino and 2 or 3 other people, and they're sitting in front of a sea of monitors, and they got every possible angle that you could even think of everywhere. And they had, I got one of them things in a box somewhere. They got one of those things where you twirl around and it moves the tape back. It scrubs the tape back and forth, slow motion. I got one of them things somewhere, but that was awesome. And then Dean Blandino walked through the whole thought process. And here's what I got from that. Even when he made calls that I didn't agree with, I understood their thought process. So I wasn't so angry at it. Oh, you got that wrong. Because I know it was one play in one game. They called it an interception. The receiver and the DB went up, got the ball at the same time, and they both came down with it. So they were fighting for the ball. And it was my estimation, based on what I saw, that the receiver, what's going on, Eric? That the receiver had the ball and it should have been a touchdown. From my point of view and the things that I saw. But here's the explanation that made sense to me. The referee on the field called it an interception. And the challenge was, is there enough evidence on camera to change the referee's call? And when he explained it, he walked through it. He looked at all the film. They must have spent almost 5 minutes on that in the middle of a game. And then they said that it was a touchdown. But I understood how they came to that conclusion. Basically, what he said was if the referee had called a touchdown, there would not have been enough video evidence to overturn it. So it all comes down to what the referee saw and what his initial call was. And I'm like, okay, I can accept that. That means it's all coming down on the referee, and he's going to catch the heat because he got the call wrong. But based on what he saw at his angle, and they go through all of that kind of stuff, man. All I'm saying is it made a lot more sense. And if the NFL would do something like that, it will put a lot more people at ease with some of these calls that they make. Because some of these calls that they make are straight up nonsense. Nonsense. Some of the roughing the passer and defenseless player and all of that kind of stuff is it's sickening. It's horrible. So I don't know how they're going to go with it. It's all going to be how they are going to call it. But I think they're going to go overboard with it towards the beginning of the year, and then it'll ease up towards the end of the year. That's what I think is going to happen. So that's what they did with all the other rules. So I don't see why this is going to be any different. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they'll get it right, and they got to send a message, and people got to get used to it. So it ain't going nowhere. They're not changing it because this is an offensive league, and they're trying to save the people on offense. So they're giving them every advantage you could possibly think of. So that's not going to stop. Eric, you got a basketball question. Do you think the UConn for both men and women will make the Final Four? Pro fan. Let me be honest with you. I have not been watching the men. I have not watched men's basketball yet. I've been watching all women. And I do think UConn can make it all the way. Kate Beckers she ain't playing. Let me see who's in there. I think they will beat Duke. So I think they can make the Elite Eight. Yes, I do think they can happen. Now, if they beat Duke, who do they have? Baylor and USC. I don't know if they can beat USC because Juju Watkins is a force. All of these freshmen have been balling this year. All of the freshmen, Malaysia for Wiley for South Carolina, that girl Audie Crooks, they got bounced by Stanford, but Audie Crooks was balling. They got a freshman, Hannah Hidalgo, plays for Notre Dame. She's a freshman, and I didn't even know this. She's from right here in South Jersey. She's from Haddonfield. She's starting as a freshman and doing work. So Notre Dame plays. Who do they have? Notre Dame plays Oregon State. So I think they can beat Oregon State. But yeah, man. And of course, Juju Watkins. And then, matter of fact, there's another girl. I forget what team it was. It was another freshman that hit a crucial 3-pointer. I just saw it. Can't remember the teams. They just showed the highlight of it. But these freshman girls are showing up. They are not playing like freshmen whatsoever. Not at all. So it's going. I think it's going to be tight whether UConn they'll beat Duke. And I think USC is going to I think USC is going to beat Kansas. They play at 10 p.m. tonight. And then I think USC can beat Baylor. So it's up in the air. But like I said, I have not watched any men's basketball at all. So I will leave that up to your discretion. I don't know if what is the men's rank right now? Let me see. I got like 80 tabs up right now, but let's see men's. I'll go straight to the brackets. UConn, they beat Northwestern, so they're playing number 5 San Diego State. If they've been balling, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Iowa State and Illinois, some good games, man. So, but yeah, I'm probably gonna start watching in the Sweet 16, watching both men and women. Iowa in the close game. Yeah, West Virginia keeps trying to keep it close. Now it's a one possession game. So, but every time they get close in the second half, Iowa just keeps the lead. So I want to see if West Virginia can take it. Let's see if Iowa's gonna get got. So 2-point tip shot. All right. 47-48, right? 40, okay, 45-48. Or did I don't know. I'm looking at this play-by-play thing and then this slow. So it's 45-48. West Virginia's got the ball. Okay. So yeah, you see me up here rubbernecking. This computer's slow. Tied it up. West Virginia tied it up. All right, they back in it. They back in it. I tell you what, they West Virginia's writing the blueprint. West Virginia's writing the blueprint. All you got to do is be physical with Iowa, and it gives them problems. Gives them problems. I want to see West Virginia get the win too, but I mean, I like Iowa. I like Caitlin Clark, so I want to see her get that tip of the cap and at least play for another national championship. But I don't think she. My logic is if you play Iowa, you either stop everybody else and let Caitlin Clark beat you, or concentrate on stopping her and let everyone else beat you. UCLA, what's the score? That UCLA, the big girl that didn't play. What's the big girl? Betts, the big 6'7" girl. She hasn't been playing. So that's a big part of your offense that's not even on the court. It's okay, it's 50 even. Creighton. So yeah, UCLA is struggling. So, but we'll see, because a lot of these lower seeds, they having a hard time keeping it up in the second half. But guess what? UCLA can get got too. So we'll see. But like, listen, man, the women's game this year, all of these games have been fire, straight fire. So I'm enjoying it, man. I haven't missed the men's game at all. But I know the men has had some great games though. But I just been concentrating on the women's game. So I'm stopping Caitlin. They got to beat me with someone else. Yeah. Last game, Hannah Stokey, that's the girl that had 50 points a couple weeks ago. She didn't even score. So people are scouting them and like, hey, somebody else is gonna beat you. But ain't really much you can do when she be shooting stuff from the daggone logo. But there have been plenty of games, because I know I've watched probably about 6 or 7 games this year, 6 or 7 Iowa games. And there's been a couple of games where she's firing up everything and not hitting. So she might be, she might score 27 points, 30 points, but she like 5 for 18 from 3-point land. Like, she had games like that. And it's like, if she's off and shooting, they struggle. She's a good passer too. Yeah, Juju Watkins, that girl, they had them in sync. USC was rolling. However, if you saw what South Carolina did to North Carolina the other day, and mind you, North Carolina was ranked 8th. South Carolina's number 1 seed, but North Carolina was ranked 8th, and they got drugged. That was a 40-point win. It was never a contest. 40-point win in the tournament. I said, God, dog, and these girls ain't playing. And Full Wiley went off. That girl was making plays, hustle plays, and that's the thing. It wasn't like she got hot from the 3-point line, but she makes hustle plays because she's so quick, and she can take off on you and finish. So, yeah, USC is balling, but I'm not sure if I want to see West Virginia take this win. I'd love to see that. I love to see these upsets. Love to see them. Because I know people tired of seeing Caitlin Clark anyway. Because the whole story yesterday was about her dad yelling at her for complaining too much. And it's like everybody complained, but you know what I mean? You ain't got nothing else to talk about because you saw her dad yelling at her in the stands. Dad was like, stop complaining. So that was funny. Chips and birds, yeah, man. Defensive rebound. Yeah, but they still getting it done. Iowa just called timeout. So who just got fouled? Iowa. Yeah, so they on the line. Quinterly, the girl with the braids. She looked like a little dynamo. So we'll see what they can do. Yeah, man. March Madness has been good, man. And let me be honest with you, man. And if you in the chat, hit me with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Are you going to follow Caitlin Clark into the WNBA? Are you going to watch the WNBA next year? I am. Caitlin Clark is making Tiger Woods moves. And what I mean by that is I'm not someone who would normally watch the WNBA. Not at all. But I'm going to watch because of her. The last time I watched the WNBA was when Kelsey Mitchell was drafted by Indiana. Kelsey Mitchell went to Ohio State. Her father is my fraternity brother, and he is the man that got me into college. So there's a personal thing there. From Cincinnati, went to my high school, went to Old State, balled out. She got a twin sister that got hurt, but she kept it moving, and she became she's the third all-time leading scorer in NCAA history. When Caitlin Clark was making that record, she passed Brittany Griner, then she passed Kelsey Mitchell, then she passed Kelsey Plum, and Kelsey Plum had the record. So that's a little personal thing there, but other than that, I have not watched it. Not one game. But now they selling out seats and tickets and arenas, and Las Vegas already sold all of their season tickets, and so she's putting butts in seats, and everybody getting paid. So it would behoove the WNBA to make sure she's treated correctly, because the WNBA got some stuff that and this is strictly because I wasn't interested in the past, but the WNBA had issues, and I mean bad issues. Girls retiring after 6 and 7 years, talking about the bullying they got because they weren't gay and all of that kind of stuff. I was like, oh my God. So they had some real issues. And my thing is like, listen, if you pack in the house because Caitlin Clark is coming into town and you put her on the bench, she better be starting, because she's worth too much money. And when you do that, you're going to have some jealous people popping in because of that. No doubt. No doubt. It's bound to happen. Bound to happen. There's going to be some jealous folks in there. There's going to be some people not happy with the money that she's making. Because let's don't get it twisted. When she joins the WNBA, she is taking a pay cut. She is taking a pay cut. But what I didn't realize until a couple weeks ago, the NIL is not a college deal. The NIL can follow you for as long as they want to endorse you. So she's taking that money with her, and it's gonna bump the league up. And when the league bumps up and all the teams start making money, that's when you can start paying players a little bit more money and get more endorsements. Because that's the thing now. I don't think the WNBA has enough endorsements in everything that comes with that. So once they start getting commercials, and she's going to be leading the way. She's going to be leading the way. And, you know, maybe it might be a State Farm national championship or the WNBA finals by State Farm or something like that. If that's what they need to get paid, do it. And you better treat it right. Tie game, 50-50. Yep. So I'm going to be watching it. Maybe I can give it Chris. Maybe I can convince. I'm talking about my grandson, Chris Hernandez. Maybe I can convince Jalen that maybe I can take her to a game if they play close. Matter of fact, do they play close? I'm not going to New York, so that ain't happening. Well, Chris, maybe you might have to take her up there, take her to a game, so she can see New York. The New York, what is it? New York Liberty, I think it is. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, Iowa on the line. They're trying to keep it tight. So come on, West Virginia, man. Come on. UCLA and Creighton is still tight. So how many points Caitlin Clark got right now? She holding 26 points. 26 points. Come on, y'all. Y'all gotta West Virginia, y'all gotta score, man. Y'all gotta make some stuff happen. Lone School fan too, and she plays for the Liberty. I've heard her name before, Chris. What's the deal with her? Is she that good? I've definitely heard her name before, specifically. So I'm getting my ESPN alerts that Iowa is in a tight game. That's funny. So, yeah, Chris, take your sister up there. See a game. I might have to go with you one time or something like that. Who knows? But anyways, I can't wait till it comes. So, come on. All right, West Virginia, let's see if you can score. Oh, good move. Should have been a foul, though. She was very good and got her first year. She did. Oh, that's okay. Okay, I knew I wasn't crazy. That's the girl that shot with Steph in the All-Star. Okay, I got you. I know exactly who she is. Okay. All right. They need all of the stuff that they can get. They should have had Caitlin Clark shooting in that. Shoot. She probably would have won. Eric is asking, just wondering, pro fan. Do you think one day the Bills will make the Super Bowl? One day. I don't know how soon that's gonna be, but one day, yeah. Unless something happened to Josh Allen. And let me be honest with you, the way Josh Allen plays sometimes, that joker is very reckless. Very reckless. I thought he wasn't going to last the season because, in my opinion, when you that size and you jump up in the air like he does, I was like, man, you don't come down the wrong way on your knee or something like that, and it's going to be a wrap. So, but I like Josh Allen, man. I like the way he plays. I like the way he's, his stick-to-itiveness. And the way he goes about his business, because a lot of people forget. Eric, if you're a Bills fan, you might remember his rookie year, his first and second year, they were trying to get him out of town. They were like, he is not the one. They were not happy with Josh Allen at all. But like one of the things I talk about all the time is how this era of football, everybody wants everything instant. You want an instant quarterback, an instant superstar, everything. You want to just add water and it's got to be working. And it's like, it don't work like that. And credit the Buffalo because they let Josh Allen take his lumps. Same thing with Jalen Hurts. All that smack talk after that 21 year in 2021 where he couldn't hit a mirror in the bathroom. He couldn't read a defense. And he had that famous game against Tampa Bay, where I think it was a Todd Bowles. They got him on camera saying he can't read defenses. They got that on camera. And he threw that late interception in that game. But at least they made the playoffs. But he came back that second year. That was the first time in his career where he had the same offensive coordinator, the same offensive system. So I said he had the answers to the test, so he was going to be ready, and that's exactly what happened. Shane Steichen, they got into that business. They stood on business, as the young kids would say. And you saw how good he could be. But that's one of my worries this year. He got to learn another new offense. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that next year he might have another a new offense. So it's something to be said. Why you think Mahomes is so good? because he's had the same offense for since he's been there. That's Andy Reid's offense, not Eric Bieniemy's. That is Andy Reid's offense. So he knows that offense. Mahomes knows that offense backwards and forwards. And that means something because you can go out there and you can orchestrate and tell everybody what to do because it comes naturally to you. So that's what you need. And that's the benefit of Mahomes and Andy Reid that nobody talks about. Nobody talks about that. I still think it's a travesty that Eric Bieniemy never got the opportunity to be a head coach. All these horrible head coaches that get hired and fired every year that just don't. You mean to tell me that after y'all watch what happened with Nathaniel Hackett in Denver, and Eric Bieniemy doesn't even get an opportunity? That's crazy. That's crazy. You look at what Sean Payton did. If Eric Bieniemy was going after a quarterback like Sean Payton did, they would have fired him. So that gets into the isms, and that's a show for another day. But the colorism, favoritism, and all the other isms you want to throw into, that's the arched eyebrow stuff. Because honestly, I don't think Bieniemy would get those opportunities. So, yes, it's a fixed bag in some situations, but it is what it is. But I'm hoping he will eventually get a head coaching gig somewhere. But heck, he went back in college. He was like, screw this. So we'll see what happens. But as far as the Bills making it to y'all got to keep y'all defense together. I don't know what the hell is going on with Von Miller. All of these, I've talked about this before, man, but there is a real problem, a very real problem with all of these active players on these podcasts. It is a self-distraction that they are doing. 316, what's good with you, baby? It is a self-distraction that like we never had to deal with because the internet had just started back when I played. I always make the jokes that I graduated college before Windows 95 existed. I graduated college in 93. Windows 95 didn't come into existence until 95. And that was Windows 95 was the precursor to what you see now with tabs and the way we know computing now. Windows 95 was the precursor to that. Kevin, why you killing me, dog? What's going on, man? Good to see you back in the chat, bro. So Eric says, I'm a Cardinals fan. No, boy, I don't know if I can say the 22-23 is. Yeah, y'all got Gannon down there. Good luck. That's all I'll say. Good luck. All right, come on, West Virginia. Let's bring it back. Fourth quarter almost over. So I might be the guy, first of all, to pull an interstate girl off. Did you get catfished? Oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy. See, Chris, man, you making me feel old, bro. You making me feel old. You was born in 95. 95 of my first year overseas was when they redid the World League. Did you what happened, Bob? Did you get catfished or what? Like, or did you have a safe trip? Oh my God. The things we had to do back in the day. No, but I definitely lost something there and it all right, man. We'll keep it PG, bro. You're a good one if you traveled out of state, bro. If you flew somewhere to meet up with somebody, man, you a good one. we could trust people way back then. You know what I'm saying? We could trust people back then. Now it's a different ball game, man. It is a very different ball game from what we used to. So that's funny though. That is funny. So I remember when this was in the 80s, or this was like 88, 89, maybe. I was home for college in the summer, and a telemarketer called, and she had a nice voice. So we ended up talking on the phone, and she sent me a letter and a picture, and that was it. The AOL disc in the mail, man. You going way back, dude. These kids today don't understand that sound. I know y'all seen that meme where they talk about that when they play the modem sound connecting, and the young kids don't know what that is. AOL disc, that's crazy, man. And then you had to, you know, between the times of like 4:30 and 5:30, you could it took you forever to get online because that's when all the kids came home from school. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Sometimes it was 15, 20 minutes. And AOL had the first chats and all that kind of stuff. Heck yeah. It was crazy back then, man. Crazy. Yeah, they they got it easy now. So they definitely got it easy now, man. They don't understand the struggle. Try the other phone number. Yep, you had like two different numbers. And then you would go into the chat rooms, and it would tell you each chat room could have like, what was it, like 36 people. And then the chat rooms would fill up. So you'd be trying to, they would, you could title the chat room and try to get people in there. Oh my God. Yeah, Kev, it was an adventure, bro. Definitely an adventure. Let me see. Eric, did I hate the Patriots back when? Listen, Patriots are interesting because the Patriots weren't good back when I was like in college and when I first got to the Eagles. Patriots weren't any good. Patriots had been, they were perennial losers. So Patriots didn't turn it around until they got Drew Bledsoe. Then they started winning. And then when the whole situation with Tom Brady happened. But they lucked up into Brady. Don't forget, Brady was a 6th-round pick. Brady didn't do nothing special at the combine or really in college. So they got lucky with Brady. They just found that dude. But when I was coming up, the Patriots weren't a serious, not somebody that you worried about. It wasn't until Tom Brady got there that everybody started hating the Patriots, and that wasn't until like their 3rd championship, and then you got sick of them, and they kept winning, and that's where all the hate started. The Patriots were what the Cowboys were in the 80s, and the late 80s and the early 90s, because it went in the 70s. It was all about the Steelers and the Cowboys, but it was more Steelers because the Steelers won 4 championships. So the 70s belonged to the Steelers. The 80s belonged to the San Francisco 49ers. The 90s belonged to the Cowboys. And then there was a mixed bag. And then like the early 2000s and the 20 teens, that's when Tom Brady showed up and just started going off on folks. And now, who's the team that everybody's hating? The Chiefs. So the Chiefs are next in line because everybody's sick of seeing Patrick Mahomes do it. So everybody's going to gravitate to the winner, but the Patriots weren't anything to worry about. Not when I was playing. Teen line and the parents line. They'll still talking that AOL. M17NJ. That was your screen name? Or was that a chat room? 17 and up. Oh my God, my phone line became the AOL line. Yeah, it was crazy like that. Because we didn't have a lot of people didn't have the separate lines yet. But man, hey, getting that damn disc in the mail though, that was a big deal. You was excited when you got that thing hooked up. You was hella excited. And now we get high speed internet, cable, and mesh networks and all kind of stuff. So we spoiled. Y'all spoiled. Y'all spoiled. All right. It's still the fourth quarter. Man, it's been the longest, like 27 seconds in history. They still ain't done with this fourth quarter. So West Virginia's still hanging tough. It's only a 6-point lead. So she made my computer and the TV is off. So Caitlin Clark must have made both her free throws. Right now, she's got 30 points, and she is getting it done. And almost, with the exception of Marshall, everybody on Iowa's roster has scored. West Virginia is the same thing. Everybody but Fields. But the difference is Stokey's got 12, Fulter's got 13, Clark's got 30, Marshall's got 0, and K. Martin's got 7. And the bench is out. The bench and the role players are outscoring West Virginia's bench and role players. So West Virginia, you ain't out of it, but you gotta show up, man. Show and prove. Let's get it together. And not for nothing, I didn't even think about this. Iowa only's got 2 people on the bench. West Virginia only has 2 people on the bench. They only got 7 players on the team. What's up with that? So West Virginia's bench has outscored Iowa's bench, but they don't have an answer for Caitlin Clark. So they got to get it together, man. Playing ads when people go live. Yes, they're even. Yeah, man. That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. That's the nature of the beast, though. And you got to roll with it. The ads are everywhere. I tell people all the time, like, if you watching my content, I appreciate you. But I tell people all the time, find when you ain't doing nothing, or you in the kitchen cooking or something like that, play one of my playlists and then go do something else and let it roll, because that's when all of the ads are going to play. And that's how you generate the revenue if the ads play. So a lot of times I got 3 computers in my office. So I got a Mac and I got a laptop. And a lot of times I'll play my playlist on my other computers. And that way I don't stop it. I just let it go and let all of the ads run, because your revenue goes up if the ads run. So like the other 2 weeks ago, my wife she was in the chat on one of my streams, and she was like, "Why you got so many commercials?" And I was like, "That's a good thing, because if the commercials are coming in, if the ads are coming in, you can skip off of it." Why does this keep popping up? You can skip off of it, but my revenue goes up because the ads play. And the longer you let those ads roll, if they play the whole ad, that's better for me. So a lot of times I'll have I got the cheat code going on another computer, and I let the ads play. The full 30-second ad is going to roll, and that benefits me. So click a playlist, click play, and then go get yourself something to eat. Let that joker roll. So finally, are we in the fourth quarter now? Looks like it now. Oh, we got a 10-point lead. All right, West Virginia, y'all gonna have to do it up. Wait a minute, is the game over with? I'm thinking they're going into the fourth. That's the game. Okay, Iowa won. Same thing. They can't maintain in the second half, man. These teams just can't do it. So Iowa moves on. Okay. Yep. He closed that. Iowa's on to the Sweet 16. And they play Colorado. That'll be a good game, because Colorado looked good. Colorado looked damn good. I guess some ads aren't that bad, Profan. The Red Bull commercial isn't that bad for me. Yeah, it's the nature of the beast. I think eventually I might get the premium subscription of YouTube, where you don't get any ads. But honestly, it doesn't bother me that much. So I just wait till they play and then click it off. It's not that annoying to me. Now, granted, if I'm watching something that's a movie or a long live stream or video clip and something like that pops up, it does get annoying. But for the most part, I can live with it, you know. So, and now that I understand how the algorithm works and all of that kind of stuff, I'm more accepting to it because I know um, that's to my benefit. So, you know, like I got my computer up, I got a second screen right here, I got my phone right here, I got my iPad right here, I got my Mac over there, and my laptop. So I got everybody's doing something. You know what I'm saying? So just got to keep it moving. Got to keep it moving. So, but yeah, that'll work. Let me see. Hold on. I was looking up something else. That's more Quez. That's more Quez. Yahoo Sports. Yahoo Sports calls Quez Watkins the mistake-prone Eagles. The mistake-prone Eagle wide receiver signs with the Steelers. Damn. See, that's not even us. That's NBC Sports. Wow. Big Rube wrote that. Mistake-prone Eagle wide receiver. That is hilarious. And that's on Yahoo. That's crazy. What's Giants owner John Mara told Saquon Barkley his decision to choose Eagles made him sick. I don't understand what the Giants are all upset and bent out of shape for. Y'all could have offered him a contract. I'm sorry, you never thought he would have stayed in your division, but guess what? Money talks, and y'all didn't want to give up no money. It wasn't his fault y'all decided to pay Daniel Jones. That was y'all decision. So guess what? You get what you get. Don't hate that man because he went to get his bag and went to a better team. Exactly, Chris. He finished his contract. Thank goodness he didn't get hurt. Thank goodness he didn't get hurt. Let me see. Was that who was that? Was that Cam Chancellor? I brought this up before, but I always forget how it actually went down. Yeah, it was Cam Chancellor that got hurt when he decided to come play for the Seahawks. And he ended up getting hurt. And as they were carting him off the field, he flipped Pete Carroll off, gave him the finger as he was getting carted off the field because he decided to play. He didn't want to sit out for a new contract, and Seattle didn't want to give him a new contract. So he was playing that last year with no future guarantee. And that is the one. That's why all of these guys want a new contract before they get into that final year. Because if you get in that if you get hurt in that final year, that's a wrap. Especially when you up in age, you above 30, that's a wrap for you. So that is why Cam Chancellor was trying to get his contract. But he wanted to be the team guy, didn't want to be the distraction. So he decided to come and continue to play, and he got hurt. And that was it. Was that Earl Thomas or Cam Chancellor? I think you're right. You're right. That was Earl Thomas. And then Earl Thomas all in this domestic abuse stuff. Let me see that. I just remember Earl Thomas. Yeah, you're right. Thomas departed Seattle with some bad feelings toward Carroll, saying the two didn't see eye to eye over many issues. We got to walk with each other the rest of our lives because we won a Super Bowl together, Thomas said, but they'll love you one minute and hate you the next. That was our relationship. Earl Thomas does not regret giving Pete Carroll the finger. This is on Pro Football Talk. So I don't regret my decision. So yeah. Yep. Thomas said Carroll's show of concern on the field after he broke his lower leg was not genuine. I gave Pete the middle finger because I felt like he wasn't being honest with me, Thomas said, adding that he hasn't spoken to Carroll since. Thomas aired his grievances for more than 4 months after signing a 4-year, $55 million deal with the Ravens, with $32 million guaranteed. Thomas asked for either a trade or a contract extension in the 2018 offseason, and when he got neither from the Seahawks, Thomas held out until the week of the season opener. So he didn't get his contract, and then he broke his leg. So that's oof. Yeah. Yep. So now that he's gone, he's now this was written when? Yeah, this is a 2019 article. So then he ended up going to Baltimore, I think. So yeah, man, listen, the NFL, it is a ruthless league. There are plenty of people that are in the NFL that shouldn't be, and there are plenty of people that should be in the league that are not. When you hear all of those cliches and all of those sayings about it's a numbers game, it's this, it's that, that's the situation that Hassan Reddick's going through right now. It's a numbers game. So he's not necessarily contractual, but let's say that the Eagles find a way to re-sign Hassan Reddick, right? So now you gotta look at the numbers. So now we got. Hold on, let me bring up. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Philadelphia Eagles roster. Let me see how this looks right now. See if they update. Last time I was on the website, they did not give the roster, the depth chart, and they still don't. They still don't. Philadelphia Eagles. See if it'll be on Google or something. Depth chart. ESPN don't have it. Let's see if it's updated though. Not really. Well, not bad. So here's what we got. All right. You got Milt Williams, Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith, Zach Bond, Patrick Johnson. And then you got Bryce Huff, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, and Julian Okwara. You can't play all of them people. You can't. That rotation would be ridiculous, and nobody could get a feel of the game if you play all of those people. You got too many people. So when you say it's a numbers game, we used to think that they would tell you that. Sometimes it would be true, sometimes it wasn't. Most times it was. Numbers game means you can be in somebody's camp, have a great camp, but they still will cut you because they already got 3 running backs under contract. And the dead money towards the cap is not worth you. So they got to let you go. And you'll clear waivers and somebody either pick you up or maybe they can put you on practice squad. But the numbers game is not necessarily a contractual thing. The numbers game is you got too many people at one position and you paying a lot of people. So everybody wants to play to try to improve their contract situation on the next go round, but you can't play everybody. So if they do figure out a way to keep Hassan Reddick, so now you got Hassan Reddick, you got Nolan Smith, Bryce Huff, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Okwara, and then who's Zach Bond is a hybrid. and then you got Patrick Johnson. So you got a lot of people at 2 spots. So either that's going to be a hell of a NASCAR package, or it's going to be a lot of people not getting snaps. That is that simple. You know Bryce Huff is going to play. Brandon Graham is probably, he going to play mop-up duty because he on his farewell tour. But he can still do some impactful things. He's still been productive. But we're not expecting Brandon Graham to start. Not at all. So it's going to be Hassan Reddick and Bryce Huff, or Nolan Smith and Bryce Huff. Because mind you, Nolan Smith is a high draft pick. They still want to see what he's got. So you got to see what your draft picks are working with. So they are going to try to make that happen. Yeah, I was happy. I was happy for AD. He got his ring. Yeah, LaDainian Tomlinson never got his ring. He wanted to fight when they were stomping on at the logo in the middle. I remember that. But yeah, man, it is so very difficult. So very difficult to get back to that spot. To see what Kansas City is doing is incredible. Patrick Mahomes is that dude, man, period. They got a good one. They got a good one. You know what, Chris? Funny thing, man. I have never watched the episode of Hard Knocks. Have not seen it. I saw a trailer. I don't know what season it was. I don't remember the team. All I know is when I saw the trailer, they were showing the meeting when the players got cut in camp. And I was like, I'm out. Nope. That is not something that I like to relive. And I don't wish that on nobody. That feeling you get at the bottom of your gut is the day you make a team and you walk in the locker room and your stuff is still in the locker, you still nervous, because I got friends that would tell a story where they made it past cut day but didn't make it to the end of the week because a trade happened or somebody became available and you became expendable. So just to get past the original cut day, sometimes it ain't over. And you get your hopes up and you're bringing your family up or your girlfriend or your kids up and they looking for a place, and as soon as because I've heard plenty of stories where people get up here and that happens to them, and you got people up here looking for getting ready to put their kids in school and that sort of thing. And then they got to pull an emergency brake on the whole thing. And depending on where you are, when I came up here, I didn't know anybody up here. I'm from Cincinnati. I'm not from Jersey. My first trip to Philadelphia was when I was in the Penn Relays, when I ran in Penn Relays in college. I didn't know nobody up here. So it's a nasty business and they don't care. And you gotta adjust to that like super quick. Super quick. So it's yeah, but the if they request it, I think Hard Knocks is having a hard time because don't nobody want to do it. The problem with Hard Knocks is I believe that's an NFL production. So the NFL is making teams do it now. And like I hate that. Because that is like a built-in distraction that nobody wants. Don't nobody want to deal with that shit. Cameras it's good until it isn't. Because nobody wants to see you at your lowest. The mental head games you got to go through in a camp. And then the camps are not what they used to be. Jason's asking me, what do I like about Albert O? So I went back and watched when we first signed him. I went back and watched tape of Albert O. And I just liked his size and his athletic ability. He was reaching back one-handed catching and all of that kind of stuff. and he's fast. He's faster than Dallas Goedert. So from that standpoint, his size and his speed, that's something you can do some things with. And I think he was better than Stoll or Calcaterra. Although I do like Calcaterra, I just think Albert O is a more athletic tight end. So I hope they figure out a way to use him. But we'll see. So I just liked I like what I saw from his athletic ability. Period. That's it. I thought he was that good. Kellen needs to use a lot of people, Chris. He needs to use a lot of people, but I trust that he will. I keep saying this. Go back and look at 2019 with the Cowboys. I took notes on this. 2019 with the Cowboys and 2022 with the Cowboys. That'll tell you everything you know about Kellen Moore. 2019 with the Cowboys, Dak Prescott threw for 4,902 yards. And the Cowboys rushing attack went for 2153. And here's their pass to run ratio. 597 pass to 449 run. Now, when you go to 2022, Dak threw for 3911, but he got hurt. That was Cooper Rush started 5 games. So I believe collectively they threw for 3911. But here's the thing that I like so much about Kellen Moore. Now mind you, this is 2022. 556 pass to 531 run. You can't get a more balanced offense than that. To me, that is incredible in this passing era. I don't see why either, Chris. We've got Pro Bowl players at almost every position. Kelsey's out, but Cam Jurgens is in, but he's not a Pro Bowler. So we got Lane Johnson, Pro Bowler. I think the big guy on the left side, he made the Pro Bowl. Jordan Mailata, he's Pro Bowl. I think Landon Dickinson's been to a Pro Bowl. Of course, Jalen Hurts, Saquon, AJ, Devontae. That's a murderer's row on offense. Our skill positions are off the chain. That's why I didn't understand what the hell was going on last year. Maybe Brian Johnson just wasn't up to snuff, or I don't know what Sirianni was or wasn't doing. But our offensive skill positions were just DeAndre Swift. I wanted to keep DeAndre Swift. I did not want him to walk. I wish they would have offered that money to him. And you probably could have paid a little bit less and kept him. I'm a big proponent of keep the homeboys at home. You got a Philadelphia kid, keep his ass right at home. The pieces we have on the board right now are phenomenal, period. And remember when I say this, because you'll start hearing it more and more. When people start talking about the Eagles and how good they may be next year, this, that, and the other, everybody's always going to bring up losing Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelce. And they have zero idea of how good Cam Jurgens actually is. And that's okay. But don't stop painting us in all doom and gloom like our locker room is shattered because Jason Kelce's not there anymore. Cam Jurgens could have started last year. He's plug and play ready. And this will be his opportunity. You don't think Kelsey and Stoutland been in his year for the past 2 years? They've been in that dude's ear, especially Kelsey, because Kelsey handpicked him. So he's invested in him. I don't see why our offense couldn't be top 3. So, Chris, I'm with you 100%. You look at what San Francisco, I always use San Francisco as the bar. Because San Francisco shows you how to run your offense. And San Francisco shows you what an offense is supposed to look like when it is working. You know what's coming, and you still can't stop it. That's what San Francisco does. You knew what was coming, and you still couldn't stop it. What are you going to do? They knew when CNC was getting the ball. They knew when Ayuk was getting the ball. They knew when Debo was getting the ball, and they still couldn't stop it. That's the kind of offense I want. With a little variation, of course. And I am going to trust on the fact that Kellen Moore is going to bring back an offense where we go in motion and an offense where we shift to different formations. I want to see that. I want to see a true play action with Saquon Barkley because he's the type of back that can make your linebackers move, get them off of their spot. If you run a good play action, the only thing that does is create space in the middle of the field so you can run the under routes and this cross routes and get those short to middle routes wide open because it forces a good play action, forces the linebackers to move. They can't stand in the spot. They got to get out of the way. And then that sets up other things. And I believe Kellen Moore is going to bring that back because to me, that's a common sense. That's common sense for an offensive coordinator. And for whatever reason, we didn't have that last year. So I don't know what Brian Johnson was thinking about. So we just didn't have it last year. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I think we're in good shape. I'm not upset about Sirianni being the CEO coach. USC is in Kansas right now, 27-17 in the second quarter. Already got a 10-point lead. So, but yeah, man, Kellen Moore got the pieces to the test. He got the pieces to the puzzle right now. His chessboard is solid. So we'll see what's going to happen. Let me see if they go. I'm going to go to this USC game. Hold up real quick. Go to the box score game cast. Yeah, it's 19. Yeah, USC started out hot. Utah and Gonzaga just got started too. So, all right, what's going on here? I think maybe ESPN getting overloaded. But yeah, I'm with you 100%, Chris. I don't see why we can't have a top 3 offense. Top 3. And with everybody cherry picking San Francisco, we might be able to get to number 1. But it all depends on what our offense looks like. It all depends on what Cam Jurgens is going to do. I don't foresee him having any problems, but, you know, that's the way the thing goes sometimes. Will the Birds draft a tight end? Why we need another one? Before we draft another tight end, I would say go ahead and sign Grant Calcaterra or Stolback. But it's possible. It's possible. I don't know. We're all guessing on where the Eagles are going to go. You know they're going to get a cornerback. Maybe they'll get another safety. Are they going to draft another linebacker so soon after Nakobe Dean? Yes, we want Peyton Wilson. Yes, we want Edge Cooper. Yes, we want Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I think Edge Cooper being the best of the three. I would go Edge Cooper, Peyton Wilson, and Trotter Jr. in third. And the only reason I'm giving Edge Cooper the advantage, same with Peyton Wilson, the only reason I'm giving them an advantage because they are bigger bodies. I think Trot Jr. is 6'1", maybe. I think he's 6'1", 230 or 6 foot 230, something like that. And the other Edge Cooper is 6'2", almost 6'3", 237, I believe. And Peyton Wilson is 6'3.5", I think, or almost 6'4", 237 as well. So you got bigger bodies. But it's funny because they all have the same problem. But that's not going to change when they get to the pros because you got to be able to share the block. And a lot of these hybrid linebackers, they're losing that physics battle because when you got 350 pounds coming your way, something got to give. And you don't do enough bench presses to move that coming your way at full tilt. Not going to happen. Maybe if you get a light center like Jason Kelce was, but when some of the big boys be coming around, pulling around that corner, man, you making a business decision. You making business decisions. But you can even see the way they play. All three of them, Cooper, Trotter Jr., and Wilson, they're all fast, and they kind of figured out a way to get out of the way. But when those offensive linemen get their hands on you, ain't really much you can do. So I'm not sure what Howie's what his focus is on. I think his focus now is on trying to find a deal for Hassan Reddick. But as far as the draft goes, I'm not sure what his focus is like. So we could get a cornerback. We could get another safety. I'm seeing that we might draft another wide receiver because I think Ad Mitchell or Xavier Worthy is going to be available. I would kind of love Xavier Worthy and stick him back there on kick returns, punt returns. And now we got another person that can run a seam and take the top off because he's faster than Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson was a myth until you saw it for yourself. The only people that knew about Deshaun Jackson was everybody that watched California. I never forget, Kevin, if you still on the stream, we were at Velocity, and we had just drafted Deshaun Jackson, and it was some girl in there that went to California and had watched him play, and she was ecstatic that we drafted him. She was like, oh, he is so fast. He's got that type of speed. That man almost ran a 4.19, dude. Stop it. Stop it. That's not even video game speed. That's something else. And if you look at his tape at Texas, he runs routes. He's just not going deep. He runs routes. So we could do that. We could do that. I wish they would have kept Julio Jones. I would have rather seen them keep Julio Jones. I'm sure it was a money thing, but I would have rather had Julio than Devontae Parker. Not saying Devontae Parker's trash. Far from it. But if Devontae Parker can give us just a little bit of what he used to be, we'll be fine. So, but yeah, man, we're good to go. We are good to go. So I'm not mad at it, not even a little bit, man. And the Eagles are going to show a lot of people because they're doing the same type of disrespect about Jalen. A lot of people not putting him on lists, and then you got dumbass Tad Prescott. That name don't even still roll off the tongue right. Tad Prescott talking his smack. Jalen Hurts is a running back. Not a come on, man. You gonna say something dumbass crap like that, and then you got Lamar Jackson as your third best quarterback on your list. It's like, come on, dude. Are you gonna be a hypocrite? Just like, dude, you just saying stuff. You're doing too much, as my sister would say. He's doing too much. So, and not for nothing, man. Now our secondary is legit. Our secondary is legit right now. That's what I like the most, man. The only question mark, and I keep saying this, is our linebackers. Devin White, I think, is going to be better than advertised. Chips and Birds, I want to keep Reddick. Me personally, I want to keep him. But it is my opinion that he will eventually get traded to Atlanta. So, yes, I want to keep him, but I don't think that the Eagles are going to meet his price, or they're going to do some type of restructuring. But I think he will end up in Atlanta. I just hope that we can get the deal done before we get to the draft. So that's not a worry. You know what I'm saying? So Jalen Hurts, revenge tour, silent killer. I can live with that. I was mad, though, because those last 6 games of the year, Jalen should have thrown for like 4,200 yards this year if it wasn't for those last 6 stinkers. But he should have, and I wanted him to get over that 4,000 yard mark, because to me, 4,000 yards is the bar where people will consider you a upper level quarterback, not just a gimmick guy, not just a dual threat, and all of the stuff that comes with that. But they can see that you threw for over 4,000 yards on top of you were running and doing all the other stuff. You can beat somebody over the top. And he's proven that. But I just wish he would have got over that hump and got that 4,000 yards for a season, because I think that's the bar for the best quarterbacks in the league. So I'm very curious on what Kellen Moore is going to do with him. I'm really, 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 really hoping that Kellen Moore puts Jalen Hurts under center. That's what I want to see, under center. So that'll just stretch the play action, get them linebackers moving, and it puts us in a better situation, in my opinion. So, Jalen Carter's only going to get better. Jordan Davis is only going to get better. Nolan Smith, I want to see him shine a little bit. Reed Blankenship is only going to get better. We're in good shape. So, but yeah, man, that's what's happening. They're showing highlights. It looks like UCLA beat Creighton. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yep, UCLA took this one. Close game. But yeah, man, I'm going to get up on that. We rolling about a half an hour. 1:33. We got 50 people on the YouTubes and 44 people on the Twitter space. So I'm good with that. Good day, good night. And it's funny because I didn't really send out any notices to like I normally do. So I'm pretty happy with this stream. We had a good time tonight. Chips, Jalen Carter's going to do some things next year. Watch, mark my words. 24 season, Jalen Carter's going to wake some people up. There's a void left by Aaron Donald not being on the team, him retiring. So I think Jalen Carter has an opportunity to solidify himself as the best in the business. Now, I don't know. It's hard to tell right now because it's early. He's a rook or a second-year vet now. But, yeah, Jalen Carter has a chance to really solidify himself now that the void of Aaron Carter Aaron Donald exists now. So yeah, Jalen Carter is different, man. I'm looking for him to do some things this year. So we'll see. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Go get me a snack and go chill with my wife. Check me out Wednesday, live at lunch, 12:10 p.m. And then of course, Thursday, 7 p.m., Pro Fan Talk. I think this week, Pro Fan Talk is going to continue to be at 7 p.m. I'm thinking maybe next week. I'll post it in my socials. So make sure you check me out on Twitter. Let me flash my Twitter handle. So make sure you check me out on Twitter or on my Facebook group, Pro Fan Talk, to check for my announcements. Because I think what I'm going to do is I might move my Thursday time back to 9 o'clock as well. So that way all of my shows will be at 9 or 9:30. But I'm thinking I might. If you're still in the chat, would it make any difference whatsoever in your particular situation? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Would it make any difference, or would it be better for you if I went off at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. sharp, rather than 9:30? So if you're still in there, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Because I'm gonna give it a shot just to test it out to see what my numbers look like. But I'm thinking about moving Thursday to 9 instead of just at 7. So we'll see about that. But as of this week, this Thursday will be at 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna do all my ads and everything for 7 o'clock, and we'll see how it goes. So, but I'm gonna get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody in here. Bow 317 or 316, Cody K, Chips and Birds, man. I appreciate you, man. Keep bringing that energy. Chris Bruce, as always. Jason Sink, my guy. Eric, I appreciate you, man. First time being in my chat. Please come back. I appreciate that energy, bro. Bow 316, as usual, my guy. I appreciate you. Kevin Stewart, thanks for coming back on. Bring a friend. Appreciate you, brother. My grandson, Chris, I'm going to keep rocking these shirts. Kicks Closet. Go to the website. Check it out. So, yeah, I think that's about everybody, man. 88s. Didn't forget about you, bro. I appreciate you. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. We rock the house. Going to catch the end of these games tonight. And I will see you Wednesday at lunch. All right? Go Birds.